why fake the funk? Just give them a show. They listening anyway. So they think she's trying to get into it. Now it's like we gotta fight them. Next thing we trying to break her off of them. Like, Lita, you gonna try to make me pay a fine because I didn't know she had a girlfriend live with her? To, you know what the fuck going on. Welcome back, Jews and Jems, to my channel. We are here with another story time, and the afro from the other day, still all me, okay? I will be doing something with my hair tomorrow. But while I was in the mood, this is the next day after the last story time. I wanted to tell y'all another crazy college story time because most of my stories are probably going to come from when I was in college. Well, I mean, I had a good couple of stupid ass years after college once I got home because I was just lost. But for the most part, I lived it up when I was in college. I was a dummy. So yeah, this story, if you cannot tell by the title, is about my roommates. We're getting back into the roommates because the roommates were always the drama. Like, y'all, I had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Y'all, I had 12 roommates in 3 years. I had 12 roommates in 3 years, y'all. Like, I'm not even joking, because I stayed in Robinson, which automatically rooms you with a minimum of 2 girls. So I always was in a room that had 4 girls, including myself, so 3. Then I moved to a quad, which was the same thing, 3. So then we're at 6 by year 2. And then this story, I'm gonna tell you how it went from me having 6. Oh, I actually had 13 roommates. It went from 6 to 7 to 8 in a matter of 2 weeks. Let's get right into it. So if you guys go back to my other story time where I started to talk about the story time where I said she snatched my wig off, which was the introduction to my was gonna be college best friend. I'm gonna call her church girl. And people are wondering, like, okay, this one girl, really quick before I go into my stories, please, please, please do not come to my stories like super serious, because I want y'all to know something. I make jokes, I say shit, and I mean it. But please understand, when I talk shit about a person in my story time, it's because they took me through hell and high water. So if you guys refer back to that story time that I gave like 2, almost 3 months ago, you guys get the introduction of that roommate. Now, me and her were roommates in our freshman year. We were like bedmates, basically. So in Robinson, the way it's set up is 4 beds, and it's 2 on one side and 2 on another side. And those 2 beds are intimately close to the other. I could reach over to her bed and touch her while she sleep. Tight, close. So we became, me and her, church girl, became super close. So we ended up transitioning to the new building together. We prayed to get into the new building. We put our hands, we laid hands onto the building and prayed to get into these new buildings together. We did, right? If you don't believe me, I got a vlog from when I was in college and I moved in, and I said my sophomore year move-in day, and I said I'm saving this room for this person, and I said her name. I said it's my friend, and I'm waiting on her to come down here. She's not here yet, and the other roommate had already moved in. This is a dorm room that I'm referring to, where a lot of drama happened. Let's get into it. So after church girl moved in, me and church girl were on the same side. We were now in a quad, which is a big dormitory with a living room, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, 2 additional sink areas, and 4 actual rooms. 2 on one side with the bathroom and an extra sink, and 2 on the other side. Me and church girl were on one side together, and we had another roommate who we will not name her because she's not relevant right now. And then we had Military. We're going to call her Military. Military was a sophomore as well. So we thought. We thought she was a sophomore as well. She was a gay girl, and that's not shading her. That's helping give context to the story. And she was cute. She was real cute. Me and my best friend, my actual best friend, we was like, okay, like she my roommate. You know, at the time I was munching on carpet, so I was like, I might gotta swoop her in. You know, the whole time I had a girlfriend, but I'm like, I could add her to the roster. Because y'all know I was a cheating bastard back then. So, I was keeping my eye out on her because I had always thought she was cute since the year before that. So when she moved in fairly quick. We really didn't say much. We all said our hellos. Hey, my name is such and such. My name is such and such. But she was like... always in her room. If she wasn't in her room, she was out and about on campus with her best friend. Now, her best friend was also a gay girl, which doesn't matter, but it'll matter in a second because it moves the tally up to 14 roommates that I had, right? So, right. Now, mind you, I told you that I had a girlfriend. So my girlfriend used to come over all the time. She'll get off work and come see me. She'll come stay the night. And we used to boom, boom, boom in the room. So I was a little loud. You hear me? I was a little loud. And I know for a fact, bitches had their ear up to the motherfucking door when I was getting my back beat in with a piece of plastic. And my cat ate by the best mouth in America. You know what I'm saying? I know they had their ear to the door. And let me tell you how I know they had their ear to the door. Baby, because guess what? We found out real quick, Miss Military, she had a girlfriend. Because the same way I told y'all that these rooms in Florida Memorial are so freaking thin, I meant that. So when I knew people heard me, whether I was trying to be quiet or not, I knew people could hear me. I knew they could. That's why I didn't even hold back. I didn't even, why fake the funk? Just give them a show. They listening anyways. So one night, we all just chilling in the room. We used to cook, hang out, have hangouts. Girl, we used to have, before the drama started in this dorm, we used to all hang out, bring our friends over, bring the step team over, because I was a part of the step team for the entire time I was at Florida Memorial. And the girls used to come by. We used to all kick it. They would drink, roll up. Just everything, right? It was giving, we like our girls. We are friends. So one night we cooking some chicken Alfredo in the living room, and my other friend is there. A couple of the girls from the step team is there, and all of a sudden we just hear, you know what I'm saying? To the baby's born, to the baby's born, right? Okay. Mind you, we didn't know she had no girlfriend. Now, that don't mean she had a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? It's college, Bitches ain't gotta be girlfriends to what the fuck going on. So, we was like, oh, we didn't know she had a girlfriend. But baby, listen. We stopped what the fuck we was doing, and we had our ear up so close to that motherfucking door. I'm not surprised she couldn't hear us breathing. Like, we all stopped talking and put our ear up to the door, baby. What's T? Is she beating her back in? Is she getting her back beat in? Who's doing the what? Who's having the baby born? Like, we was literally, no pun intended, we were like so flabbergasted. This is how I knew that when the shoe was on the other foot, the bitches had to get to the door, because this never stopped. Now, mind you, this was the first time that we heard her getting it in. But it definitely was not the last time. It was not the last time we heard this girl getting it in with this girl, right? So, like, 2 or 3 times into us hearing them doing stuff, we was never going to say nothing, because it was entertainment. It was like Saturday Night Live, because you got to understand, we didn't have no cable in these rooms. We had our phone, Netflix at the time, and Xfinity, but that's it. There was no cable in these rooms. So any little entertainment, we hung on to it. So if that means listening to y'all get it in and try to figure out who's doing what and who the hell in the room, we would do that. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I was in college with no cable 7 days a week. So yeah, that was a little game we like to play. And I see anybody guessing which part I was not gonna tell you. But just know that it was fun until it wasn't. So we finally got to see the girl. So one day till the baby's born, you know, they till the baby's born for a little minute. So then we hit them like, stop. So we like, pretend like we back doing shit. We walking in the bathroom, going in the room, you know, people closing up shop. So we trying to be like, we weren't listening. We couldn't hear them. So the girlfriend walks out of the room. Girl, you seen that game on TV on Friday? Girl, yeah, I was in the rec room. I seen it on TV. Yep, I seen, you seen it? Girl, I ain't get to see it, girl. I was at step practice. That's so crazy. We over here like, that's so crazy. Because we want to see her face, but we don't want to be like, you know, we not going to do that. So we like, that is so crazy. That is so crazy. Let me go wash these dishes in the sink. That is so crazy. We finally got to see her, right? Why this girl big and pregnant? Big and pregnant. Now, they about probably 6 now. But big and pregnant at the time. I'm talking about, she cute girl. But I'm like, wait a damn minute. Hold the hell up. So we was home from school 2 months. And you was here last year, but I don't remember seeing her. And you're a girl and she's a girl. So if 2 + 2 = 4, then what the fuck is this? I was so taken aback when we found out that her girlfriend or whoever the person was pregnant. Because it's one thing to be doing it until the baby's born, but not till the actual baby is born. What is y'all doing? How you playing stepmama before the baby even get here? Like, that's just so, we were flabbergasted, to say the least. And were we judging? Most definitely. I'm not ashamed to say I used to be a judgy ass bitch. I was. Because I couldn't fathom, how are you sitting here eating and beating whoever's doing the bending? How can you do that? And this girl is like big and pregnant. And mind you, it's like 3-4 months into us being there. So she been pregnant. And y'all, this is like our 3rd or 4th time hearing y'all clap cheeks. So y'all been clapping cheeks. And it's just so crazy because let me tell you something. One day, right? This one just made it worse. Because at first we thinking it's just 4 of us staying in this dormitory. You know, my little girlfriend, she comes stay the night here and there and stuff like that. But she stayed down the street. My girlfriend stayed like 15 minutes away. She stayed like in where she stayed? What city was that? I want to say Miami. No, she didn't stay in Miami Gardens. Did she stay in Miami Gardens? I think she did stay either Opelika or Miami Gardens, because you know, if you from down south, that they changed the city lines, which kind of fucked up shit. So some people still call parts of Opelika. I mean, parts of Miami Gardens Opelika, because it used to be Opelika. So yeah, I can't really define where she stayed. But she stayed like 15 minutes up the road. So it was no pressure. And I used to stay night over at her shit. So my girlfriend wasn't like a roommate. She was like a, hey y'all, I'm here tonight and I'll be gone tomorrow. But come to find out, Miss Big and Pregnant, she been staying late. She been living here. Matter of fact, the tea is, she's been staying here since the day the girl military moved in. So I'm flabbergasted, right? Because my whole thing is, we didn't know straight from the start. We did not know. We were just as surprised as everybody else, because we kind of speculated, because we were seeing her way too often. But the thing about it, she would never come out the room like that. So like we could hear rustling and tussling around the room in her room, but we just couldn't say, oh, that's pregnant girl, oh, that's military, because the door is closed and locked. We don't know who that is in the room. So we kind of just left it at that. It's not our business. I pay for my room like just how she paid for her room. I'm gonna let her do what she want to do, as long as it don't get us in trouble, which it almost did. Let's get into it. So one day, me and my best friend, which is not a church girl, are sitting talking in the living room. No, in my room. All of a sudden, we hear a whole bunch of commotion. Now, mind you, church girl, she is in her actual room on her phone doing homework, right? So at the time, me and my best friend are in the room, and church girl is in her room minding all of our good business. Next thing you know, we hear a big ass commotion inside of the dormitory, like a whole bunch of something throwing on the ground and a whole bunch of throwing bodies around. So we like, what the heck? So we both open our doors. I peek my head out, church girl peeking her head out. We like, so we like, what that was? I don't know what that was. You don't know that? Okay, so we continue to be like looking down there, because it gotta be one of the two girls at the end. It has one of the three girls at the end. So we just looking. Girl, military door fly open. Fuck you, bitch, fuck you. Like, they going pregnant and military going at it, baby. I'm talking about head up. You would have thought they was in Wipeout. They was giving it. They was boop bop, boop boop bop, boop 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 bop. Don't give a fuck. She got a baby. It's a whole lot of cussing, whole lot of yelling, whole lot of screaming, whole lot of twisting, turning, and slanging, baby. So next thing you know, military say, B, get your ish and get out. Now, mind you, now that they outside, we kind of like, because we don't want to be like this out the door just looking. So now we like kind of in, but we listening. So now we can kind of hear them like going back and forth. So then pregnant, did she storm off? Sorry. It's late at night. Military say, you got until such and such to get your clothes out my shit. So she storms out of her own dorm and leaves pregnant in the room. Next thing you know, we hear pregnant, not even like 5 minutes later, making a whole bunch of noise in military's room. I mean, like, sound like she throwing the bed, throwing the armoire. She's knocking over the dresser. She's tossing the shoes out the way. Like, it sound like she and that bitch remodeling, ho. She and that bitch turning it up. Bob the Builder. Can you fix it, ass bitch? I'm talking about she is really doing a number in this room. So I'm like, what the fuck? Then they say, you know, we just hear her kind of get kind of quiet, right? Then she throw the door open. And then we see her with a bottle of bleach, right? Because at this point, we're in the second sink area outside the bathroom. We see her with the bottle of bleach, and then she throw it down on the ground, right? But the top is already off. She just throwing it. When it hits the ground, you can tell it's obviously empty. It's obviously empty. So she tosses it on the ground, right? So she grabs her stuff, a couple of bags of stuff, and then she goes downstairs, a lot of commotion. So when she leave, we leave. Like, not right after her, but we waited a couple minutes. We all leave, because now we got to tell our friends. It's just juicy tea, and we have first-hand knowledge of the truth. So we go run to my best friend's girlfriend. We was all gay, girl. So my best friend girlfriend, and we go tell her. Now, my best friend girlfriend is an RA. So we was gossiping, but she always had her RA hat on. So here she come to say today. And now we in the drama. So, boom. The shit continues. So now we're in the back of Robinson. Robinson is the single dormitory where the girls stay. So Robinson is like right in front of my building at the time. So we walk outside and we see across the way like Military and her best friend, and like she heated because she probably explaining the story to her adrenaline high. So we walked past them super duper quick. We go run to girlfriend. We telling her the lowdown. Girlfriend, best friend, who is also an RA, she listening in, so she's like, oh no, they gotta calm down. So my best friend like, no, bitch, don't get into it, because if somebody put their hands on you now, like I'm gonna get into it, because they don't put their hands on you. And I'm like, somebody put their hands on best friend, now I gotta get into it, because best friend trying to save you, now I gotta save best friend, because somebody put their hands on her, I gotta do. So she's like, no, I'm not going to get into it. But if something happens, I have to de-escalate. This is my job to de-escalate. They don't pay you enough, sweetie, to be de-escalating stuff like this. The girl is pregnant. So maybe like 30 minutes later, right? So it seemed like shit is dead, because nothing happened when we went back outside. Her military and her best friend it's a lot of people in this story. Military and her best friend had done left. So we thinking maybe they went back to the dorm or something like that. Girl. Why, like 30 minutes later, pregnant, her cousins or uncles or aunties, I don't know who they were. They had to be friends and family members, because they jump out the car like 4 or 5 deep, right? Looking for military, like, what the fuck she at? What the fuck she at? We finna beat her A. She done put her hands on mine, this, that, and third. So now the tea is boiling over hot, and we is right there in the midst. All of a sudden, we see military, because military was actually pretty popular, and she ended up becoming a Delta. No, not even military. Military best friend end up becoming a Delta. It's crazy, right? After all this drama. So she, her friends, they come and they like, well, what the fuck going on? Because I don't know if they know the story or not. But they like, oh, you stand my girl and my homegirl. And they're like, what's tea? Like, what's the fuck up? So now they argue. One of them, it's a lot of commotion. It's so many different things going on at once. Like, this person arguing, this person arguing. If you've been to flow mode back in the days where, baby, they slap down the motherfucking dean, the lady that night, that Florida Memorial, baby, bitches used to always fight. And I don't mean no boom, 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 go the fuck home. I mean, like, bitches used to be brawls, like 3-4 days. Brawls, bitch, come out of class, go back to fighting in the motherfucking front. Baby, that's the motherfucking Florida Memorial I went to, where bitches used to be fighting every day. So when I tell you it was too many moving parts, and I'm trying to keep the story together. But it was this person arguing, this person would argue, this person. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, military and her best friend come running over to the circle, and now shit is hot and greasy and popping. They is into it, baby. They is getting their stripes, honey. Now RA/best friend girlfriend trying to break it up, and shit get heated. Like, they trying to like tussle with RA. She's trying to calm them out. Now, mind you, she got an English accent, because she's not from here. She's actually from Grenada, but she grew up in England. So my bitch is all type of everything, right? Not Grenada. Well, she grew up in Guyana. And my bitch just, it's a little hard to understand her because the accent. So they think she's trying to get into it. Now it's like we gotta fight them. Next thing, we trying to break her off of them, like, leave them fuck alone, let them do their shit. Stop trying to break them up. Because one thing about Florida Memorial, and 2 things for sure, they gonna hit first and ask questions later. I don't give a fuck who you is, bitch. You in the middle, you like you trying to hit me. Boop! You out of there, baby. So we was trying to like pull her off of them, because stop trying to break it up. You not security. They have security. They have security. Let security do their job. Like, why are you trying to play super save everybody? Stupid. So we pulling her off of there, pulling her off of her, right? Girl. That situation dies down when security come, police get called. And at the time, we had a live-in RA who was like, girl, not even like that much older than us, called Mrs. B. I think that was her name. I don't know, but I don't care. And it was so many rumors were swirling about this lady. So Mrs. B called herself afterwards when everybody got the facts together of what was going on, and that military had her girlfriend living into the quad. Why later that night we get notices slid under our quad door of every person in the room is being fined, I think she said $25, because there was an additional house guest that was not reported. Baby, I kept that paper for my life, honey. And we had a meeting, a student union meeting, that Thursday. I think it was that Thursday, like a day or two later. And baby, I collected my thoughts. I told my best friend, I'm finna, when they asked me if I got any questions or remarks, I'm finna get up on here to sing, because she typed this up on word art. And she think I'm finna sit here and pay her $25. It don't even say deposit it to the birth stars. It say bring it to the motherfucking live in RA Miss B. I'm not bringing you now $25 when I ain't even got no real motherfucking job. Baby, are you crazy? You gonna try to make me pay a fine because I didn't know she had a girlfriend live with her? Oh, you smoking crack rocks, bitch. So I got up at the student union and I went the fuck off. And them bitches was clapping when I got done, because I read her Miranda rights, because she had already been trying people the entire year and I was the right bitch on the wrong day. So I gave it to her ass in the student union and bitches was clapping. And my bitch said, and that's how you clear a bitch. Yes, ma'am. And I brought the motherfucking paper and I brought the paper, baby, and I unfolded the motherfucking paper, baby. I said, and she gonna bring this paper underneath our door, gonna try to find us. Hold on, I got the paper right here. And this is the paper. And look, this is the paper. I held it up. This is the paper. Yeah, if y'all want to see it, I'm not lying. Yeah, she gonna try to sign on the door and ask us to pay $25 fee. It don't even say directly to the birth stars or a person. It says to her. So this is seeming real miscellaneous if you ask me. It's seeming real personal use if you ask me. How you gonna find us for not even knowing we had an additional guest living in the room? And then the thing about it is, I can see if we lived in a semi-private. A semi-private is one big ass room with a half a slab of wood in between two people in a bed, and you can hear and see every motherfucking thing going on in that one dormitory. You got one bathroom, fake ass half kitchen with a table in the front, and one big dorm room with two beds in it. I can see if I lived in a semi, and I can clearly, clear as day, see next to me that it's two people in that bed every single night. I can report that. I can see if I'm in Robinson and it's 4 beds, and I can see clear as day across this way and clear as day across this way, and every single night somebody's standing in that bed with that person. I can report that. But if I stay in a private, a double private, or a quad where we individually have our own rooms with doors and locks, how can I rightfully say I knowingly knew she had someone illegally living in the dormitory? They wasn't sleeping out in the living room. They wasn't free-fully using the bathroom. We didn't even know this bitch was living there until this close to the wire. Like maybe a week or two before the fight happened. So how could I rightfully know I was supposed to be super save a bitch and report everything? That's not my job. So, I said I'm not paying for it. And if y'all try to charge me when it's time for me to leave, I will make sure you don't hear the end of this. And I said my piece and I got the fuck off the stage, and I bet you to this day they never charged me no $25 for not snitching. I didn't know it was a snitch fee, sweetie. So yeah, that kind of still ruffles my feathers to this day. But nevertheless, I don't know if she got kicked out, she moved out, she dropped out. I don't know what happened. All I know is her clothes were still there. We went back to the dorm that night. We was trying to calm her down. She still was upset. The girl had bleached all of her clothes, and she was like visibly hysterical. So I was trying to calm her down, because a trick I had learned, if you ever bleach, like throw bleach on your clothes, immediately throw them in water. Immediately throw them in water, because it dilutes that bleach. And if you would like to try to get that out, the water it won't work every single time, because depending on how long the bleach was sitting. But we were trying to help her, and she was like, fuck it. Cause she was real like dressy head to toe. She was one of those studs that bitch, when she come out, she fresh, she clean, she jazzy. Like, she's one of the ones that the girls would fight over. She's cute. She's well presented. She's a dreadhead. She's sexy. She in shape. The girl had like it going for herself, and her clothing, her wardrobe was her, like, you know how them sneakerheads is? That was her lifeline. So her like wardrobe being destroyed, she lost it. She just threw all the clothes away. She was like was about to cry. She stormed out after throwing the clothes away. And I know she probably went to her best friend and started crying, because it's like, damn, bitch, I'm a broke college student. And then now all of a sudden, like, I get in one argument with this girl, and she decides that she's going to destroy all of my clothes that my family, myself, and my friends may have contributed to. That's fucked up, because she may not have the money to replace that. So, nevertheless, right, she doesn't come back to the room for the rest of the night. Her door is still unlocked. We being nosy. We in there like, what else she broke? What else she did? But then we end up locking and closing her door. So, and let me shut up, because I was about to say something that goes to another story time. But yeah, let me tell you, right? So, she ended up moving out. But we didn't know that, because let me tell you what the fuck happened. Let me tell you this twist of events of how I'm telling y'all I ended up having 14 roommates. Now, mind you, right there, that's 3 roommates plus a 4th roommate. And then when she moved out, we thought she was still there because her door remained locked and we never got a new roommate. Normally what happens when a person gets kicked out or moved rooms, when a new person comes to the room, the RAs or somebody from the student, whatever, will bring her over, introduce, or say, hey, you guys have a new roommate, should be coming this day, that day. Trust me, I know, I've been the new roommate. So we the year go on, it's the next semester, right? And not even, it wasn't the next semester, I'm sorry. It's later in the semester, so probably like November, December, about time for us to go home. We finally see who's been in the room. Girl, tell me why military best friend, has been staying in her room. So one day, I was over there talking to the other roommate that's not relevant to the story today. And she had the door open. Girl, all the stuff that was in there before is still there. Like her decorations, her bed sheets, like she just didn't, like, gotta go. And her just gave her key to her friend. So now her friend is illegally staying there too. And I'm like, bro, I gotta get the fuck out of this dorm. It is so much going on. So let me tell you, right? I was like, I'm not snitching again. But I was just over this dormitory at this point. This dorm had so much going on already. And then after we found out that we had an illegal, we used to call her the illegal alien. I know. Don't hate me. But because she was an illegal roommate, because she never had no bro, when I tell y'all how we find out stuff, I put it in, the Sherlock Holmes investigation detective emoji. I put that shit next to my best friend's contact, and it's still there to this day, because this bitch could find a rat in a dookie hole. This girl she would always come through with the information. She's the one who found out about my boyfriend cheating on me, my sorority sister. This girl be knowing every fucking thing. If she don't know, she ends up finding out some way. So the girl was illegally staying there. And the RA is her girlfriend, so I feel like she just said, babe, what's going on in Shaye's room? And she looked it up in the system, and she's like, oh, ain't nobody supposed to be in that room. I think that's really kind of how it went, but that's, long story short, we find out that room was supposed to be empty this entire time. So it was only supposed to be 3 of us left in the room, but it ended up being 4 of us, almost 5 of us, because her girlfriend was always over. Nevertheless. But that wasn't even the end of the drama, because y'all know later on it's the sophomore year that I fell out with my fake ass friend, church girl, because we was having our friend illegally stay. Because since everybody illegally staying in this dorm, why not just everybody just get it crack-a-lack, let's all have a friend now, each one teach one, bitch. So it was a lot of illegal people living in this dorm, but everybody had their hand in one person staying there illegally. Like, everybody had been one illegal person staying there for a little bit. Mine was my homegirls. Church girl had her sister staying there for a couple of days. The military, which we ended up finding out that she left and joined the military. That's how she got that name. And then irrelevant girl, she helped sneak my friend to stay illegally for a couple weeks. That room right there, baby, it was haunted. It had demons in that room. I mean, to this day, it had demons to that room, baby. That room was the same room that my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend, best friend, ended up moving into. And then, it's so crazy. Then my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend moved in as well. It was crazy. Like, y'all think, I swear to God, I wish I was making these stories up. When I tell you the PTSD, when I think about some of these stories, I'm like, damn, bitch, you really went through this shit. Like, these things actually fucking happen. It's chaotic. Like, these is some weird ass events you went through. When I was going through them, I never thought they'd end up being anything but an experience. But now, they're fucking story time on YouTube. And oh my goodness. Like, Flood Memorial has given me so many story times, y'all. Like, I'm so baffled when I think about the stupid shit I went through at that school. But next time, we'll talk about how I was screwing the basketball coach. Until next time, Jews and Jems.